Mm. We might have to edit this whole thing because it
I'm spilling a lot of beans.
it's okay though. We'll figure it out.
No, I'm not even, don't even edit it. You know what? Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead. If you haven't watched the movie, that ain't on me. Why don't you go ahead and skip to the last part where James will review his food? I'll put the timestamp here, but this is where James will be reviewing his food, and now you're spoiler free. There's your chance.
Okay.
That's your chance.
Okay. So today's menu is wonton soup. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bink. This is
Please.
a carbonated seltzer special. Baby T
Ooh.
to the A to the C water. Do you know what that means? She got her own house.
Okay,
She getting
okay. I
fucked
love
up.
a good seltzer water. That's all I drink.
I know you do. Now,
Welcome to the podcast.
welcome to Mouthfuls and Mic Drops, everybody.
We're
Oh,
missing a person.
yes, we are missing our Trinity to the Holy Trinity, but they will be back. Labella
Lovella.
will be back next week for next episode. Now, I know what you did last summer,
Mm-hmm.
Requel 2025.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start off with, first of all, we
It's
both seen it now, which is great.
Yeah, it's like Pretty Little Liars Accident Edition. Like I know what you did last summer, every version of it. So
I've never seen
um
Pretty Little Liars, but I guess I get it.
oh
People
mm,
did something wrong and they're being punished for it.
did they? No. But
Speaking of
we'll talk
doing
about
things
Pretty Little
wrong,
Liars in a different episode. Technically, no. Pretty Little Liars, none of them did anything, which is why I was confused on the whole show. Because technically, like, none of them did anything. Because they all thought, like, oh, who killed Allison? Who killed Allison? The whole thing was like, oh, yeah, none of them killed Allison. So what's the whole point of the fucking show?
wait, her name's actually
Anyway,
Allison?
huh?
Her name's actually Allison?
Her name is Allison, I think, or Allie or something like that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy because in I Know What You Did Last Summer, the series, which I love,
Mm-hmm.
one of the girls' name is Allison,
Yeah.
the twins.
Yeah, the twins. I
Hmm.
told my friend to watch the series, and she was like, I've heard so many bad reviews. I was like, I don't understand that.
I don't understand why
I don't
no one
understand
likes the
that.
series, which y'all need to reserve that hate for the I'll always know, which I've never seen, but here are so many
It's
bad things. But I still
so
want to see
bad.
it.
It's so bad. Oh God, it's so bad. Maybe we should watch that one for our movie night and review it because it's trash buckets.
Mm.
It's trash buckets. It's so bad. But I know what you did last summer. Like the series for me, it wasn't even about figuring out who the killer was because like they made it very, very obvious very early who the killer was going to be in the series, which I won't spoil here on the show. But I knew from like maybe like the third or fourth episode, like exactly what the plot was going to be and who the killer was going to be. So really was just like about the entertainment of the show, and they truly delivered. And I
So the
thoroughly,
show is quite brutal. It's more
yeah.
brutal than a lot of the movies.
Yeah, yeah, they don't really show like it reminded me of the Scream series, like where I really enjoyed the Scream series as
Oh,
well. And I was like, why can't we have this in the movie?
so you've seen the Scream series? That's on like
Yeah.
um what's that streaming Peacock, right?
I believe that's where I saw it. I
Or
can't remember where I
HBO.
saw, but I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
I might
Because I was
rewatch
looking at
it.
that. I was like, I wonder how that is. And I didn't know, like, you never talked about it. So,
Oh, you know I'm a Scream girly. You know I've seen this shit.
yeah,
I might rewatch it. Maybe we can squeeze that into our Scream reviews. Watch the series and screw.
you talk
Oh.
about the series.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But the movie, what was your overall review? Like, out of from a scale of 1 to 5, let's start there. From a scale of 1 to 5, what would you rate this movie?
I Know What You Did Last Summer was definitely an 8 for me.
I said out of 5.
So that means you didn't really care too much for it.
5 is the best you like. If you get 5 stars, you 5 Michelin stars.
Oh, you
Like,
said out of 5.
yeah.
Oh, then a 4.
Okay, I agree. I agree. It's a 4. I thought it was a 4 out of 5. I thought it was pretty decent. I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was
thought it was
good.
decent too. A lot of people, and I understand why they didn't like it.
Wait, some people are not liking it. Okay, explain that to me because I don't understand.
Okay, they didn't like the ending. They didn't like the reveal. They
I
thought
feel like people forget the first few movies because they've been leading up to it. And I feel like if you watch the first movie, even in the first movie,
they made it
it's very,
seem like,
yeah,
yeah,
they're like literally laying down the groundwork in movie one of what happens in this movie. So for me, it wasn't even, when I tell y'all, y'all be thinking I'm lying and I'll be talking to my scream girly and I'm like, I know who the killer is. I think I know who the killer is. And I'm like, okay, what'd you think? And I literally named one of the killers and I was like, and if it's this person, because I felt like there was going to be two killers. Plot twist, there's two killers. Um, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, it's giving me Scream vibes. I was like, I don't know why I think it's two killers because normally there isn't two killers. It's usually just one person.
right, right.
And I guess in the series they kind of go into the two killer thing, but like not really. It's more
Mhm.
like a manipulation thing in the series, but not necessarily like a killer. So I was like, I don't know why I feel like it's two killers. I was like, but these are my suspects. And I was like, and if it's this person, I was like, I'm gonna be really mad because they're so obviously the killer. It's kind of like, why even bother put them as the killer? Like, why not just use them as a red herring like they did in Scream, was it Scream 4? Where like the cop is such a good red herring that you think it's her the entire time, but just because how creepy she is, and she ends up just being a good cop. I was really hoping they did that,
Yeah.
and they
Um,
didn't.
so okay. And I see why I kind of didn't like it, but I liked it. I
It's
did
like not only was this person he or she,
edit.
not only were they annoying the first movie, but they were also the red herring in the next two movies.
They
So what
also
do you
what?
mean? They were
They
the
also,
red herring in two and three. They were the red herring killer in both two and three. So what do you mean in part four you were so confused? Did you not watch the movie? Are we watching the same franchise? Because they've been literally setting this person up to be the killer from the jump.
Hmm. We might have to edit this whole thing because it
I'm spilling a lot of beans.
it's okay though. We'll figure it out.
No, I'm not even, don't even edit it. You know what? Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead. If you haven't watched the movie, that ain't on me. Why don't you go ahead and skip to the last part where James will review his food? I'll put the timestamp here, but this is where James will be reviewing his food, and now you're spoiler free. There's your chance.
Okay.
That's your chance.
Okay.
I still
Good idea.
won't name the character, but I feel like it's pretty obvious because there's only like a few characters that are in all three movies. But
Hmm.
so if you don't know who it is right now, then yeah, you definitely didn't watch the same movie.
I really liked the what I didn't like was kind of how weird the whole accident kind of went down. Like
Hmm.
they honestly didn't do anything wrong.
They truly, that's the only thing that, like, there's a couple things that bothered me with the movie. One was a character's death. And I was like, they should have had his death be a lot more like traumatic. I would have liked this character to die more gruesomely than he did. All they did was choke him out. And I was like, what? I was like,
Hmm.
really? That's what we're
But
gonna do?
yeah, that's all they did. But like okay, so you have to okay, there was that, and there was also another character who's that I thought was mid, but it's okay because there was a lot of I think it made up for like I didn't want every single kill to be so gruesome. I wanted some of them
I guess it's
because a lot of them
true.
were gruesome when you think about it. Like just yeah, and like there's even a part in the movie where you get a 2 for 1, and
Yeah, that's a
I
good
thought that
one.
was pretty. I
That's a
thought that
good
was
one.
pretty.
That's a good one. I was like,
They brought that shit. Okay, so like
yeah, I
that's what
was
I was,
like,
and
this
that's
is.
what I was hoping for because when you go back and watch the original, I know what you
Hmm.
did last summer. You may notice that aside from the superficial, like okay, there's
Hmm.
blood during the actual kills. There's not that much blood. There's not that
Yeah,
much
there's not.
splatter.
Well, it's also the '90s where
It's the
like that kind
90s.
of, yeah,
It's
that kind of
very much
slasher.
it's
Yeah.
very much dry. Even during the infamous Helen chase scene, you don't see her get hacked up. Really, you just
Yeah.
see her fighting, her arms like wailing. You see
Yeah,
him
playing
struggling with
like
her.
yeah.
Yeah, but no, folks watching at home, if you haven't seen this yet, you're in for a lot more carnage. You're in for a lot more flesh flying, and that you do have a few kills where it's like asphyxiation, but even then, there's like the more thriller aspect. I love the part where they're in. So no, I was mad because I
The
had to get
police
up.
station? Is that what you're talking
No,
about?
okay, okay. So that was raw as fuck, and I was
I
so happy. I was clapping in the theater.
Somebody was like, "Yay!" I was like, "Yay." Yay
Yes,
indeed. Yay
yes.
indeed.
Okay, that was tea, and it added to the camp and the flair of the horrorness of it
Of the
all.
movie. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that there was like such a laid back modern
hmm
vibe to it, and it was like still campy, and it still paid homage without being cheesy.
A direct ripoff.
Yeah. So like overall, it was like pretty high up there for
And
me.
then they set up for another movie at the end.
Yes. All right, folks.
Miss
When you watch
Brandy.
this movie, don't move
Miss
when the movie's
Brandy.
over. Stay for the credits, as Miss Jennifer Love Hewitt told us herself. Stay for the credits. Okay. Now, speaking of Jennifer Love Hewitt, I
hmm
really wished that I just had more from her. But
I wish she was more present in the movie. I
yeah,
was extremely disappointed that I understand why she didn't get more screen time because the movie isn't really about her. I get it.
it's not.
But
But she
like,
was there. She was there to
yeah.
do what she really needed to do. And I think maybe that might be because they're prepping her for the sequel. Because it's obvious that there's gonna be some butt hurt. There's gonna be some trying to clean up loose ties that didn't really get tied towards the end, which like the end like pissed me off. The reveal pissed me off. It's
I was
good.
not shocked at all.
It's great, but it was great the way it played out. Like, okay, I think here's my time for James's menu. Today's menu, we are having well, we had wonton soup. It was so good. I just really ordered it on the fly from China Palace. It has beef, noodles, onions, vegetables, and your classic wonton broth. Mm. Now, spoilers ahead.
The
So
reveal was not shocking to me in any way, shape, or form.
it
I
wasn't.
actually I thought it could be the person like when they were like, yeah, we were together and this was awful. I was like, bitch, what? Yeah, you real shady.
They lead up to it also when he says like no, well when motion is detected behind Julie's house and then in the front of Julie's house, like why the fuck are you being so creepy? Pick a side.
Yeah, that was also another hint.
And also what was another like clue was how they put Billy Blue above the ship, like the camera panned out and then it looked down at Ray as he's walking out of the same door that's beneath it. Like this nigga's still Billy Blue. Like some and his character is about to make a change in this movie. And I feel like they were trying to tell us. And also when he talks to Stevie, that other bitch who I actually liked up until I found out she was crazy. Um, he's like, if anyone deserves to make it out of this, it's you, Stevie. If you wait any longer, you'll be stuck here.
Yeah, his relationship with Stevie was always kind of
It
weird.
was weird.
I was like the way he was talking about her and to her and like everything else, I was like, yeah, this isn't adding up. Like I knew it was Stevie. I just didn't want it to be Stevie because again, she's so obvious that I was like, please don't let it be this fucking clear as day killer. Like as soon as we were at the bridal shower, let's be serious. At the bridal shower, I got this for you because you were like, I said, yeah, she giving fake vibes.
And the added to the fact that her and Ava and the blonde girl, I forget her name, they didn't like stay close after what happened at all. But here comes Stevie babysitting. You were babysitting the whole time, keeping tabs on her. Um, and then um the part that I was gonna talk about was the abandoned, not the police station, which was Sarah Michelle Gellar, but the Sarah Michelle Gellar, I think is where she worked. I don't know because I left to refill my popcorn and I come back and all of a sudden the girl who Ava was banging is now with Ava. I saw them reunite, but like I said, I went to go get my popcorn. I come back and all three of them, I think all three of them are running through. Yeah, they're running through the was that where Helen used
Yeah,
to
where she
work?
used to work. Yeah.
Okay, I figured it's where she used to work because they were recreating like little homages to her chase scene, like taking the little dumbbell waiter up and him clawing, like swiping at her feet.
But also don't forget the that girl was like doing her own like horror podcast thing. So she was
Right.
like already in that scene to be like, oh, this is where it happened kind of thing.
Oh, so that's what I missed. So why did Ava like follow her there?
Well, she was
Why
already
was Stevie
there.
there?
Yeah, she was already there, and the girl asked her to meet up, and she was like, "All right, cool." She was like, or they were like, "Oh, I want you to, tell me more about what you do." And she was like, "All right, come with me." And she was like, "This is where she died," and da da. Da. And then the girl was like, "Can someone meet me at the shack because Ava is being super shady and sketchy."
Who said that?
Um, the main character.
The main character
What's
is
her
Ava.
name? Oh, it's the main character Ava.
Who's being sketchy?
Oops. The like theater girl, whatever her
The
name was, like
podcaster?
the podcast girl.
Okay.
Yeah, she was like,
Oh,
"Can someone come down because this podcast girl, whose name I truly don't remember, is being super shady, and I think I might need some assistance."
okay. So it's really great that you explained that to me because I did not see that part. And so that must have been Stevie's cue to come
To
down and
go down there and try to, "Hey, are you okay? Are
right.
you
So
okay?
so
The
that's
door's
that was the
locked."
giveaway. That was the giveaway is like why am I coming back and only two people are being chased? Why are you outside? So you were outside the whole time and you texted Ray to get inside the building and
Yeah,
set
to
traps
attack. Yeah, to
and
attack them.
attack
Yeah.
them.
And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's giving Scream because I, of course, she was on my list. Stevie was immediately on my list. Like it's not even like it's one of those things like Scream where you're like, oh yeah, he's the killer. He's the killer. It's him. And that's what she was giving to me, and it's kind of like, and I was like, it can't be that obvious.
So it was pretty obvious to you, like kind of the storyline, but you still enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I still enjoyed the movies because for me, because I watched so many of these, it's really not about the killer reveal anymore. It's really just how they executed the story. Which is why like some of these like who did it aren't like my favorite. Like if we ever talk about Slasher, I would love to talk about all 5 seasons of Slasher because season 1 of Slasher is trash.
Okay, okay. So I'm really glad you're bringing this up because you know I have Netflix now and you know I was snooping and you know I was like, okay, so the girl who played Lena Luthor is the main character.
Yes, I love her. She's so cute. Oh my
I
God.
do kind of love her.
She's so flippin' cute. I
It's
was
the
like, that's the
accent.
girl from Supergirl. And then I was like, she's so good looking.
I remember being in love with her face. And you know she wasn't even supposed to be on Supergirl for only 3 episodes. And she
Yeah,
ended
I
up
heard that. But listen, when you serve the way she serves, you gotta book her as a main character. I love that. But that season is one of my least favorite of Slasher. The other, I think, what does Netflix have? The first three?
if I'm not mistaken, I thought I seen like at least five
There
seasons.
are 5 seasons, but I don't know if Netflix has all 5 because I
Oh
know
yeah, they're on
season
there.
5 is on. It was on Amazon Prime
They're
before.
on there because I was looking and I was like, oh, I have homework.
I did a whole ranking of it. I know this is a little bit sidetracked, but I did a whole ranking of the slasher series where I rated number 1 and number 5 as my least favorite.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. One is very much, I'm like, okay, they must be saving their better direction for later seasons or for later episodes because this is really It's hard to watch, but I'll hang in there. I don't. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but it's definitely
It's
like,
definitely not the word. You also have to realize that slasher works like American Horror Story, where there might be some of the same characters, but it's completely different seasons. Like season one
I
is
was
not
gonna
connected to
ask
season
you. I was
two.
gonna ask you
Yeah,
about that because I'm like, I know you can't do this. You can't have like Lena Luthor. I mean, yeah, Lena Luthor be.
that's just what we're gonna call her.
You can't have her be the main final girl throughout not even the whole season, or like you don't want to do it again the second season. So there's got to be some switch up elements going forward. I figured it was different stories, which is good to look forward to.
I do believe season three is my favorite. When I tell you, I knew who the killer was. I don't want to give too much away from you because I know we're talking about I know what you did last summer, but I will say I was thoroughly duped.
Okay.
Thoroughly duped. And it's not even that I was duped, but the twist of season three had me like, yo, what? I was
Mhm.
like, I would have never picked up on that because I knew who the killer was. Period. I was like, they are the killer. This person is the killer. But again, that's not what it's about for me. The twist of season three, I was like, wow. I was like, that was so good. I like highly recommend it.
Okay. Okay. So I got to get up to the at least the end of three. Bet it
At
up.
least I think you'll watch three in its entirety because it is a good season in general. That I think if you skipped one, because again, none of the seasons are connected, so you can really start at any season that you want to. Uh, I think I think you should start at two and then watch three because they are both good seasons back to back. And then of course four is like two, three, and four are bangers. Like they banged that shit out. It was so good.
I'm excited.
But again, the killers were very obvious to me, but I was just like, this is great. Check. This is great. Check. This is great. Check. It's such a good show. And they're making a season six. Okay, back to I know what you did last summer.
Okay, so now in regards to I Know What You Did Last Summer series, which so many
Mhm.
people seem to have a problem with,
I didn't have a problem with it. I'm sorry.
I didn't have a problem with it either. It's just so full of sin and like teenage, and you know what?
They
These
brought the cult
kids
back. Did
these
you not peep
kids
that? Because they were
actually
talking
did
about the
something wrong and are getting punished for it.
right.
They
They
had a
actually,
new
yeah.
I love the element with the cult and the spiders.
hmm Because they brought that back in the movie. This movie, they were talking about the cult a little bit.
You're
The pastor,
right.
yeah. So
Yes.
I was like,
Good for you. Good for y'all. Like paying tribute or like at least trying to connect the universes.
connect the universes together. Because you know they had that weird shit in the series where they were like, we could bring somebody back because somebody dies in the series, and they, yeah.
So that's my only flaw really with the series is that it did not continue because
I know.
it could
I was
have
like, where is
truly
season
been great. I would
two?
have loved to see those loose ends tied because
Tied up.
I
There were
I
so
didn't
many.
I didn't like the ending for the killer. I didn't like that ending for that killer. And I low key
Do
enjoyed
you
I
not see that I'm flabbergasted right now? You did not like the end of I Know What You Did Last Time of the series. I thought it was so good.
I
I
did
was
like
like, I am so happy it ended this way. It could, for me, it could not have ended any other way.
it was like really twisted, which I loved. It was the build up was great, which I like we talked about, we love because it's not about who it is anymore so much anymore. So a
Right.
lot of the times it's like you be
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
it.
Were you satisfied?
I like to give myself like blinders for some reason and like hope for the best. I don't know why, but
No, I was like, I really hope. I was like, that would be so gaggy, and I would live for this shit. And then they did. I was like, oh my God. I was like,
another
yes,
thing of another
finally.
thing reason why the series is so good is it's so filled with queerness.
Yeah, it is really gay.
It's super gay and I love that for it. And they need to kind of play on that a little bit more,
hmm
in my opinion. But yeah, the for I Know What You Did last some of the series, the storyline is really Like I think it's the most storyline you get out of the
Out
whole
of all the,
franchise.
yeah.
Like you
But
can
I
tell
also
they
think it's because it is a series. They had more time to really work on it and develop it.
yeah.
You really can't tell that kind of story in like a 2 hour frame.
Right. It's
So
so like the hot sex, the scandalousness, the queerness, the soundtrack is banging. It's like it
bangers.
has a lot
Yeah.
of hits on it that I didn't even know about. And like, cause like if you go on YouTube and you look up, I know what you did last summer, OST, you're gonna find a pretty if you like dance, you're gonna find a pretty extensive playlist. And even like if you like emotional kind of music, like because it's an emotional series, it's a well written storyline. Yeah, it's music to my ears. Let's see
But
what
I will
else.
agree with you for the Jennifer Love Hewitt. I was like, I love that her character's here. She looks great. I love the, well, what are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for, huh? And I was like, my bitch is back. My bitch is back. Full
In the
force.
movie,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was
What are
that was
you
a good
waiting for?
third act.
It was a great third act. I was not surprised who the killer was. Like, I literally showed you guys the text where I was like, it's this person. Like, literally showed you guys the text message where I was like,
I was
one
like,
of my
okay,
top,
I was like,
yeah,
okay,
my
so she
suspect
know.
list.
I'm gonna put that screenshot right here. I was like, she knows now.
Yeah,
She knows what they did this summer.
yeah. And what I tell you, I think the first text message that I sent you guys where I was like, okay, here's the list of people that I think. That was literally like maybe 10, 20 minutes into the movie. The second one where I was like, I really hope it's not Stevie. That was more halfway.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, she's such an obvious I'm the killer that I was really hoping that it wasn't her.
She was too much on the outside of an
Mm-hmm.
outsider to like not
Mm-hmm.
be kind of
The killer.
sus. And then the
Yeah.
fact that you happen to be directly connected to Ray out of nowhere,
Out of nowhere.
yeah, it was like, And I
They
really
said,
love
oh, it's like her dad died or whatever, but it's yeah, y'all didn't connect the dots that her dad died and then the guy died and come on.
that it was just weird, like how like why she was even mad. I
It
get
really was. He was on his way to pick me up because he thought I relapsed. But he also swerved off the road and they tried to save him for a little bit.
they did the best they could. Like ain't nobody about to go down there, girl. Like
They did call the cops, so they weren't lying because you see them driving down the road and the ambulance is pulling up and somebody says, see, he'll be fine.
another clue was when Ray was like, you know how easy it is to get mixed up with the wrong crowd.
Exactly.
Not only was that killer vibes, not only was that uh like you trying to protect Stevie, it was like also a nod to like Helen and
I forget their names, but I know Helen. That's the only one I know.
Helen's guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. But it definitely seemed that way because it's like, okay, you never got over Helen's death. We get it. But
He
like,
never got over any of it, basically. He never went to therapy. He stayed in Southport and he
yeah,
suffered.
that was another
And
hint for me when he was like, I didn't just leave like you. And she was like, I moved on. I got a life.
facts. And even though I don't like that they made him the killer, it was good that they made him the killer. It's really like connects the storyline of all the like movies. It really develops his character till I think as much as it's going to develop. So it was good
Hmm.
use of him. And I really liked I really liked his motive behind it. It was akin to, yes, it was akin to Scream 6 or Scream 5
Five.
in
Five.
the like, oh, they forgot about us. They're forgetting about it. But I mean, this is a requel. You need to remind everyone why you deserve to be
I
here.
actually think they took more chances than Scream 5 because don't forget, Dewey has always been one of the people that could have possibly been a killer in all of the Scream movies. Like we talked about what Scream 3 just like a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about one of the Screams and he was one of the killers, potential killers in that movie. He was also a potential killer in Scream 5. They were setting up his character to be one of the mass killers and ended up being like, okay, well, let's just sacrifice him and so
Yeah.
I think they took more chances on a legacy character being the killer. And I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I like because they were like, okay, because I mean they've always competed. Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like that's
Yeah.
just it. It is what it is. They very much fall under that um
90s
slasher, this
slasher.
90s
Yeah.
slasher. I Know What You Did Last Summer came out a year after
A year
Scream,
after.
and
Yeah.
they saw the success of it. They wanted to tap in as they should, but they had like more of a different vibe, as in,
Hmm.
okay, this is a true slasher that has no meta. It has no breaking the fourth wall, no explaining rules. It's
Hmm.
just very much 70s
It is
style
what it is.
kicking
Yeah.
off. And then you have the thriller storyline. I really liked I Still Know. I thought it was a great
Hmm. Sequel.
continuation. And so now
Yeah.
with this one, I'm pretty sure they were like, okay, we're modern day. We need to find out what did they do, what have they done that we haven't done, and what can we do to make ourselves, you
Stand
know,
out.
a little bit. So yeah, we're going.
Hey, I love how people talk about the third one because like they don't even acknowledge the third one even in this movie. They acknowledge the first one, they acknowledge the second one, and then they move right on to the fourth one. Not even the directors are acknowledging the third
That
one.
is so
That's so
hilarious. I noticed that they would rather pay more attention to their series than the third.
yeah, because they even added elements to the series before the third movie.
Oh, poor baby.
It's still poor, poor, poor. I will always know what you did last summer.
Potential movie night just to have a B movie to
Oh, I love that.
that I haven't watched to kind of fill in the gaps. But yeah,
It's not
so they
great.
were like, okay, we're not going to sacrifice our legacy character.
Hmm.
We're going to make them the antagonist. That
Hmm.
was great on their
Well,
part.
and also Stevie is not dead.
Oh yeah, so like he knew to shoot her in a non-vital.
Yeah. I
So
think so. You do also think that he intentionally shot her just to get her off the thing.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And because Stevie's gonna be the obviously I think Stevie's gonna be the killer in the next one because she's at large. Wait, they said
Her and the redhead, I think.
her and who?
The redhead.
Redhead.
You barely see her in the movie. She's with Stevie in the beginning scene with
The
at the
friend,
truck.
the coworker.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she's a part of the cult as well. Cause I was like, I wonder if it's the girl with the curly hair. Cause I was texting my friend and while I was watching the movie,
She
I was like,
was a little sus.
she could be a red herring. I was like, but something about her is not right. And then I was like, so then when they revealed the characters, I was like, oh, I guess she was a red herring. And then my friend was like, eyeball. This was before I watched the cut scene that there is going to be another movie. And I was like, oh, maybe she's going to come back.
Not only is there going to be another movie, but I'm really excited to see Brandy in horror again. Uh, this is where I expect Julie will be much more active,
Yeah.
and they're gonna it's requel rules. They're gonna up that ante. I have
And
good
this is
faith.
why I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is going to sound so controversial considering that Scream is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I like that
I like them
Julie,
both.
the main character, was able to take a step back to let the lead shine in her own
That's what
movie.
I'm saying. There
And I
was
feel
like a
like
stability to the movie where, like, okay, this is new, this is fresh, we get new storylines, but the parents are both still here. In
the
their
parents, yeah, mom and dad are still here.
mommy and daddy still here, Papa Ray, Mama Julie.
Papa Ray and Mama Julie are
But
still
only
here.
the only thing is like you really aren't sure, or you don't fully aren't fully clued in to the fact that Papa Ray is the father of evil and Julie is
Hmm.
Mother Teresa. And this is
Yeah.
literally a divorce movie.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. And then when they were going to do the reveal, like Ray wasn't the killer, and I was like, okay, I guess I misjudged Ray. I guess it wasn't really him. And then they showed that cut. I was like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I fucking knew it. I was in the theater like, I fucking called it.
Well, we're all 6 minutes away from
Ooh, perfect timing.
our ending time. Are there any closing comments for today's?
This is what I hope to see in the next movie. More carnage, more plot twists, a delicious Stevie, Maybe she's blind. Maybe she switches it up so she, tries to go in disguise or whatever. But maybe she just doesn't care. The curly hair girl. I would love to see them try to bring somebody back to life, Ray. That's
Hmm.
all I'm saying. They already established that they
They,
hit on the cult. They definitely made that connection. So I think it's possible that Ray could come back.
so you better whatever that little crypto gel you got that can preserve the flesh and heal the body.
Yeah.
I need you to
Just rub it up.
just dab a little bit of that, and we need to see somebody, I guess, wake up in a cave.
Yeah, because listen, the cops were being a little weird when it came to the pastor. So I feel like some of the cops were in on it. And if they're the ones taking the body away, there would be nothing stopping some of those cops from taking Ray's body and taking it to the cave and getting that super sticky goo goo all over his body.
Yes, I
So I
love
would
it.
love to see a Ray come back.
I love it.
And if you
Also,
haven't seen the series, you need to watch the series to understand what we're
you
talking about
need
when we
to
say sticky
watch
goo
I Know
goo.
What You Did Last Summer, the TV series. It is streaming on
It's
Amazon
really
Prime. We've
good.
given you tea on it during this episode, and we've told you why you need to watch it. Now go fucking watch it.
Go fucking watch it. And the killer for me in the series,
It
like
they do their thing.
I was like,
They did their job.
season 2 immediately. Start right now. And then I think
So
it got canceled.
So if the creators are watching this episode, um, you need to follow
Hurry
up
up.
and do what you said you was
Hurry
gonna do.
up.
You need to
We need a
reboot
season
that
2.
series, and you need to come with it with I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, the requel sequel.
Yeah, part 2 and make it juicier. Make it delicioso. Maybe that guy, you
Maybe we
know.
can take another trip down to Brazil.
And one of the characters, the main character, the male main character, you know who the one I'm talking about. Maybe he makes an appearance. I just maybe he shows up in season 2. Maybe he's walking around smelling roses and shit. I don't know because I would just love to see it.
Dang, we're full of possibilities today, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. All right. How did you like? You said your food was good, mid.
Oh, it's always good. I
Okay.
love soup, and that was pretty meaty and noodly and wontony and vegetably and brothy and hearty. So yeah, I have dinner later. I have like a Szechuan chicken and rice from the same place that I got yesterday. But I just bought
Okay.
a quick snack for this episode.
All right. Well, that will do it, you guys. If you haven't seen I Know What You Did Last Summer, the requel, go watch it. It's probably still in theaters at this point, or by the time you're watching this episode, maybe it's not. Maybe it's on HBO Next. I don't know. I don't know your fucking life. But also watch the series and comment down below which one was your favorite out of all of the 5 installations of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Which one is your favorite? Which is what we're going to end on. Which one was your favorite?
Hmm. Oh, series.
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. 100% I agree. It is really that good. Like it
And
is tiers above the movie. And then I would
yeah,
pick 4. And then 1, then 2, then 3.
obviously. Oh no, but for me it's
2
4,
and 1
then
flipped.
2. I love 2. 2 is so much
Okay.
fun. And then 1, and I haven't seen 3, so
Oh, well, there you go. All right, and we're gonna end it out there. Lavella should be back next week where we will be talking about Scream, possibly. I don't know. Just keep a lookout.
trailers,
Trailers, trailers, and
previews of
we've
what's
got
to
a we've
come.
got a schedule for you guys. We gotta do trailers. We're doing current events. We might be talking about Jay Z soon. We're gonna be doing this second installation of Scream. So make sure you subscribe and like and share. So you and click that bell for notifications so you can always know when we're uploading stuff because we're gonna be adding more content. Our mukbanger here, James, likes to do mukbangs, and he goes out in the city where he lives and eats. So we're gonna be uploading some content. He's also a dancer, so you might see some dances here soon. So
She's
make
putting me
sure
on the
you are
spot.
subscribed.
She's obligating me. This is what's happening.
Gnarly. Bum, 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 ba-da-da, bum, 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 ba-da-da. Everything's gnarly. Hottie, hottie, like a bag of Takis. I'm the
I'm the
shit.
shit.
I'm the
I'm the
shit.
shit.
Hobby, hobby. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.